Hi everyone, I'm Rachel, and today I want to show you how to color a realistic waterfall using the Color Therapy app. In this tutorial, I'll be using the manual mode to draw the waterfall, and I'll show you how to do this using just your finger. When drawing water, I recommend using a variety of brushes, including smudge, airbrush, and the spray tool for best results. You'll be able to apply this tutorial to add a waterfall to any scenery. If you want to follow along, you can find the image under the Classic tab, select Places, and then scroll down to Wonderful Scenery, and it's the first image. Alright, so the first thing you'll want to do is completely color in the background, and that includes the middle ground and everything you see. So you want to have that completely shaded, add all the highlights and everything that you want to add in before you add in the waterfall. So that will be the last step. So once you are satisfied with how it looks, what you want to do first is go ahead and open up the color palette, and we'll just grab a basic white. So under the basic palette, have a solid basic white. And you do want to also sample colors from the environment. So all the colors that you have in here, you want to also bring it into the water. So let's go ahead and sample a grayish blue color from the water I have here. And then maybe a lighter gray, and then let's also get a dark brown. And we're going to use those to bring it into the water, and that'll help to aid in realism. Now let's go ahead and open up the manual mode. And what I'll do is select the spray tool, and I'll raise the opacity and size to 70%. And then with that white, I'm just going to do a quick spray over the area where I want to add the waterfall. You can add it anywhere you want. You can add it in the back, you can add it coming down from the side of the cliffs. I'm just going to do it over here on this side. Just like a quick little spray. And I like this spray tool because it adds sort of a mist, just really lightly here and there. So that's starting a foundation for our waterfall. So I want my waterfall to come down from these cliffs here and then sort of fork off around the rocks. So we'll do that in layers. So next, let's open up the manual mode again, and we're going to do just the same thing, but with the smudge tool now. The smudge tool is also really helpful because it has almost like a splashed water look to it already. So we're going to do the exact same thing, the same area. Just start to add it in around those rocks in that area. So it's also kind of misty. And I'm adding it into the water just a little bit. And you can see how I'm sort of leaving a few areas so I can see that there's a rock showing through there. Now let's go ahead and lower the size to 15. And we'll continue to just build that waterfall. So in that same area, I'm just going to continue adding it in. And it might be helpful to use a reference. So just look up a nice waterfall reference that you like. And you can see much better how waterfall behaves when it is splashing over rocks. Another helpful tip, when you're working, you want to go under the effects tab and just check your work. So under lines, just remove them. And now you can see if it's starting to look realistic or if you need to add in other details. So now I'm just going to switch over to airbrush this time and just leave the same settings. And I'm going to continue to just add in those waterfall streams coming around the rocks. And these are just long strokes coming downwards. Now we need to go in and add some color to the water so it doesn't look just plain white. So we want to raise the size back up to how it was, about 80%, or between 70 and 80%. I'll do 75. And I'll be using the white as well as the other few colors I sampled to add in some details. So just using now the smudge tool again, and just gonna add it into the stream below it again to make it kind of blend in. Now I'm gonna use that slate gray color just to add in some shadow. And I'm adding in the shadow on sort of the left side and the edge of the water there. Keeping in mind that right now my light source is coming from the top right. So the sun is shining this way. So the shadow on the water is going to be on the other side. But I also want to add it into the water below so it looks realistic. I'm kind of just tapping it in a little bit and using the other colors as well. You'll also want to add in some more detail using the airbrush and lowering the size to about 3%. And with the white, you can just kind of zoom in and start to add in little streams going around those rocks and just long strokes coming all the way down into the water. And then to finish it off, you might want to enhance the perspective if you have the option in an image by just zooming in, and then I'm going to just tap to fill in the rocks on the left side of that waterfall so it looks more realistic. So I'm using one of the same colors I used before for the rocks. And I'm just going to tap to fill them in right here. And so now that creates more depth and dimension. And here's the finished piece with the canvas painting effect added to it and the lines removed. Remember to bring some color into the water from the surroundings, such as golden colors if there's a sunset for more realism. If you'd like to see more tutorials like this, don't forget to subscribe to the Color Therapy YouTube channel so you don't miss any new tutorial videos. Thanks for watching our tutorial. You can get the Color Therapy app for free on the App Store.